Right, so it's time for the show. Alright guys, welcome back.
I'm Allie.
And I'm Erin.
And today we're going to be discussing salad fingers.
Hello. I like rusty spoons.
And why he psychologically appeals to the youth of America.
I think the first big thing that we have to notice about salad fingers is the slight British accent. If you guys remember when One Direction became famous, what was like the big thing that people talked about in their fanfics? The accent, love. Insert your name here, love.
Exactly. And so that's one of the primary things that I think draws the youth to salad fingers. Also that time of a woman's life, like whenever we were all into One Direction. Hold on. The time of a woman's life, whenever we're all into One Direction and into salad fingers, is when we're having our
sexual awakening.
And I would say that just as much as those One Direction fan fictions where it talks about One Direction adopting you, but then doing other things, I think salad fingers describing his reaching his point of climax when he is feeling rust on his fingers.
I like rusty spoons.
Is a metaphor for how our fingers were somewhere for the first. Is a metaphor for how we were changing as women and young girls, and I think that's why salad fingers is something everyone can relate to, and honestly should be considered as a modern feminist figure.
And I also think, going off of the feminist ideals, I actually think that this time period for salad fingers to come out was really important, because I think the idea of like the patriarchal hegemony that was being exposed in this time period was very prevalent in this time. And I think the fact that they chose to make salad fingers a feminine feature, however still having those features that we love about men that like are seen as like masculine, so like for example big hands, you know, whenever like in movies is always like who has the bigger hand, and you know
they're about to fuck.
And I think the fact that they made salad fingers a sex symbol but also still feminine, I think that I would agree about the feminist movement argument.
Exactly. Like, it shows how women and people with feminine energies can also exhibit, like,
also be men.
Can also be men, exactly. I would even go as far as to say... Sorry. I would go as far as to say that salad fingers was one of the first non-binaries that was out in our time.
I would agree.
And I would say that's a big reason why our generation... Sorry. I think that's a big reason, though, like, for real, why our generation is so accepting of people that experience gender fluidity and identify as non-binary.
Well, we also have to remember who paved the movement. We also have to remember who paved the movement for salad fingers.
Yes.
wait, I got it. 2 girls, 1 cup, walked. Walked so that salad fingers could run. I think 2 girls, 1 cup was the first time that we, you know, now we all say like,
no kink shaming. Kink shaming isn't okay.
And I think the reason why we think that is because 2 Girls, 1 Cup not only brought kinks, but brought lgbtqpia community to the YouTube community.
And it's like, it's salad fingers kink is getting tetanus. is having rust in his bloodstream. So I think that's a really like fair point to connect salad fingers with all of these feminist movements that we see today about sexual awakening and being proud of who you are and owning your body.
What are some other videos that
well, you know who I was thinking of when you brought up who paved the way for salad fingers? What first came to mind for me was Slender Man. And I was thinking about how he's
Long features.
He's actually 6'7". They recently released a statement saying that.
he's 6'7", and he has a very similar body type to Salad Fingers in that they have these extremely long limbs, and I think that
But he dresses nice.
Exactly. So that's almost another feminine figure. And you could even say that Slender Man is also gender ambiguous.
Because he has no face.
Exactly. And anyone can wear a suit. Any woman. We've seen Ellen. Ellen. Ellen's just yet another queer figure that has paved the way for all of these movements. And I think that it's very well that like the voices of people like Ellen could have inspired Slender Man and Salad Fingers.
And that possum from Over the Hedge. Another big lesbian figure that I think
Exactly.
is undermined by society.
Exactly.
She was definitely a lesbian.
She was, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that Slender Man is a lesbian woman.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, I think that Slender Man is a lesbian woman, because think about it. In the stories about Slender Man, he was always murdering other men, right? Patriarchy. Taking out the patriarchy. Slender Man.
Slender man. Slander men.
Exactly. Slender Man could be a non-binary figure or a lesbian figure that is a metaphor for women taking back, for women finally overcoming what men have tortured them with for years.
And I think that people just figure that Slenderman is a man because he does murder, and I think that's what's real.
Exactly. That's what you
cool.
would assume when you see a murderer.
I think that's what's cool about Slenderman is that they disguise themselves as a man because, think about it, no one really thinks like, wait, Slenderman's kind of a fucked up story because it's a guy. But secretly, it is this lesbian woman. She uses that male persona to get away with what she does.
Exactly. And it's just, at the end of the day, it's all about the patriarchy.
It really is.
It's all about the Salad Fingers, Slender Man,
the possum from
Over the Hedge, Ellen,
Two Girls, One Cup.
It all just comes full circle if you think about all of these figures in society and what they mean to our girls today.
Yeah.
It just all comes full circle.
I think the internet is a great place to extend feminist theory. The most recent one that I've been seeing that I really support is eating
your own tampons?
Is
is that what you're
it's eating your own tampons.
We all do it. And
for so long we felt like we had to hide it from men.
Mm-hmm.
And now that TikTok has came about and has brought
this issue to light, now women aren't afraid to say anymore that
I eat my tampon.
Yes, they be scrumptious. And not only that,
but it's also like a nutrient thing. Like we were told for so long that's not okay, and I think we were told it's not okay because they don't want us to be happy. Like I'm anemic. Where else am I going to get the iron?
Exactly.